Once upon a time, in a quaint little village, there lived a sweet and innocent girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She got her name because she loved wearing a bright red hooded cloak wherever she went. Her grandmother had gifted it to her as a symbol of love and protection. One beautiful, sunny morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother approached her. "My dear, your grandmother is not feeling well today. She lives in a cottage deep in the woods, and I am worried about her. Would you be a brave little girl and take this basket of goodies to her?" Little Red Riding Hood's eyes widened with excitement. She loved her grandmother dearly and couldn't wait to see her smile. "Yes, Mother," she happily exclaimed, putting the basket on her arm and adjusting her red cloak. "Now, listen closely," her mother continued. "Remember, you must never wander off the main path. The woods can be dangerous, and we want you to be safe. Be cautious and don't talk to strangers, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood promised to be careful and set off on her journey into the enchanting forest. The birds sang, the sunlight peeked through the tall trees, and Little Red Riding Hood hummed a happy tune as she ventured deeper into the woods. Unbeknownst to her, a crafty wolf lurked nearby. This wolf was always up to mischief, looking for an opportunity to trick and deceive others. As soon as the wolf spotted Little Red Riding Hood skipping along the forest path, he devised a cunning plan. The wolf hurried ahead and reached Grandma's cottage before Little Red Riding Hood. He knocked gently on the door, imitating her granddaughter's voice. "Grandma, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood. May I come in?" Now, Grandma, who had been resting, was a little hard of hearing. She thought, "Oh, my sweet Little Red Riding Hood has arrived earlier than usual today." So, without a second thought, she called out, "Come in, my dear." As the wolf entered the cottage, he found Grandma sitting up in bed, wearing her spectacles, and knitting a colorful blanket. The wolf quickly snatched her glasses and hid them under the bed, pretending to be Grandma. Little Red Riding Hood approached the cottage and knocked on the door. Hearing the unfamiliar voice, she hesitated for a moment but still decided to go inside. "Grandma, what big ears you have," said Little Red Riding Hood, surprised by the wolf's appearance. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf replied, trying to sound like Grandma. "Grandma, what big eyes you have!" Little Red Riding Hood exclaimed while eyeing the wolf suspiciously. "All the better to see you with, my dear," the wolf replied, struggling to hide his excitement. "Grandma, what big teeth you have!" Little Red Riding Hood said, her voice trembling slightly. "All the better to eat you with, my dear," shouted the wolf, unable to contain his true intentions any longer. But just as the wolf pounced on Little Red Riding Hood, she let out a loud scream for help. Luckily, a woodcutter happened to be passing by and rushed into the cottage. The brave woodcutter managed to scare away the wolf, saving Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma. From that day forward, Little Red Riding Hood promised always to stay on the main path and not talk to strangers. With a sigh of relief, Little Red Riding Hood hugged her grandma tightly. They shared the goodies from the basket and laughed, grateful for the woodcutter's bravery and the lessons they learned. And so, Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma lived happily ever after, cherishing their special bond and embracing the value of safety and caution in their beloved forest.